What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Monero to Bitcoin. As always, if you guys are new to the episode or to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. We are doing a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers, which is right around the corner. So if you want to be entered in that, make sure to do those following steps. Otherwise, let's get into today's episode. So I am going to be looking at some technical analysis, kind of adjusting where the market is sitting at right now, looking at why we're still falling and basically where Litecoin's bottom is, and for the other coins as well. So I just refreshed the coin market cap, and we're currently sitting at 213 billion, which is pretty darn low if you ask me. 24-hour volume at 12.9 billion, so nothing. That's not too bad, honestly. We have seen more volume in the past, but it seems to be sitting at about that right now, and the past few days it's been around that. Bitcoin dominance gaining. We may see a 50% Bitcoin dominance very soon. 49.5% is something to notice. Another day, guys, of just crazy, crazy, crazy market trends. You know what I mean? Another down day for Litecoin and for Bitcoin. Pretty interesting. Bitcoin now at 6,136. Literally took like a $2,400 drop in like 2 weeks, less than a week. Pretty wild. Down 7%. Ethereum now 330, down 10%. XRP down 8% at 0.31. Stellar down 3, EOS down 10, Litecoin down 8, now at $59. Pretty wild, guys. Who knows what exactly is going on, why we're seeing such low volume, such a negative movement in the market. Obviously, we are seeing, we're going to flush out the weak hands in the market right now. That's all I can really say. But when I jump onto Bitcoin, you can see where we're currently falling to. We're going to most likely come down and retest this green band, which you can see forming right now on the weekly. That's probably going to be where support is, sitting at around 58 to 57.90. So around $5,800 is where I could see the Bitcoin falling down to, and then hopefully bouncing off this as support and continuing its journey upwards. That's really what we're looking for. I'm now going on to the daily. You can see another day we are falling right back down, retesting the bottom support level right here. If we fall lower than that, we're going to end up going into an oversold market, which isn't that good. Another thing to notice is there is a downtrend forming on the daily, which is also unfortunate too. You can see how right here we have a unfortunate, very nice downtrend in the making, or that has been here. So we're going to see it's probably going to ride this all the way down to the bottom at around $5,800, which something I didn't want to see, but it's happening, and it's going to probably continue to happen until we reach around 5,800. So be prepared for that, guys. Another thing to notice is now on the 4-hour for Bitcoin, we are falling again down, and we are currently in an oversold area right now. So yesterday we saw that recovery. We saw us getting above that white downtrend that I have on here. You can see a major downtrend right here. You can see we are falling once again. We're most likely going to hit 5,800 as support. That's currently where I see the bottom being for Bitcoin. I'd be very shocked if we fall lower than that. Very, very, very shocked. We are entering oversold on the 4-hour, so that does give us plenty of potential for us to recover slightly and move up in the short term, but we may continue to fall in the long run for another week or two, which is unfortunate, but it may play out that way. Moving on to Litecoin right now, for all those who are Litecoin fans, we're seeing the market get hit. Volume is leaving Bitcoin, and we are currently falling back down. I have a pink line drawn, which I said in yesterday's live stream, at $55, which is going to be my guess support, or my educated opinion is going to be that's where the support is. That's where the bottom for Litecoin is. It's unfortunate that we broke through 62. It's unfortunate that we broke through 73. It needs to find a bottom, guys. We have clearly not even entered the normal neutral range on the relative strength index. So there's plenty of room to grow and move up. Honestly, I do think at some point we're going to bottom, and we're going to hit it hard, and then we're going to bounce up really nicely off of that and probably go up to its high-low MMA at around $73. So it's very interesting to see us fall below that again. But one thing to take into account is we still need to break this yellow band. And until we do that, I'm going to stay bearish on Litecoin as well. Now I'm looking on the daily. You can see finally daily has re-entered an oversold area, which is pretty good news, to be honest with you, because that is a good sign that we should continue to go up. From that, we should move upwards. We should retest that descending triangle, that yellow downtrend. That trend line is clearly a crucial, critical resistance level in Litecoin. So until we break through that, like I said, we need to break through. If we do, I can see us moving up to around $100 fairly quickly, and we may end up being around $100 by the end of the year. But we're seeing lows, and it's really unfortunate. These are really good buying opportunities, really good prices to be buying cryptocurrency. If the market was to get hit, if Litecoin was to get hit more or harder, you're really not going to lose that much of a portfolio. Obviously, you shouldn't want to lose any, but if you did, it's really not going to fall much lower than the current price it's at now. For those of you who bought at the top, it's a possibility to be buying now as well, because you could also you can even out your buying portfolio, so you can half it or make basically even out your profit levels. You can drop that price range down lower. If you bought at 350 and now you buy at 65, you could probably reduce that down to like $200, and anything above 200 would be considered profit. Definitely something to think about, guys. It's just my opinion to it. But when you look at the weekly, the reason I drew this purple band and the yellow band, we'll discuss both. The yellow band, you can see, is critical downtrend, critical trend line right here, acting as extreme resistance on the market. You can see we broke bearish from this yellow line that I have drawn there, but you can also see why I have this yellow trend line here. The purple trend line, mainly because that's where we started the breakout back in November, December. So it'll be interesting to see where the coin wants to go down to. You know what I mean? We're going to probably test it within the next day or two, to be honest, at $55 level. I think once we retest 55, we're going to consolidate, trade sideways a little bit. We're so close to being oversold on the weekly too, which is interesting. And then we could potentially break through that, and it wouldn't be that hard, for us to go to 113. But check out the prices, guys. Like, look at how quickly the price was able to move like that. Like, why couldn't it happen again? It really could. You know what I mean? People who bought at levels over here obviously were very disappointed when they saw the price fall down, and they were probably saying the same thing and the same negativity they had when they saw this dip. Anybody who bought at 97, for the coin to fall all the way down to 33, that's like 2/3 of your portfolio gone. Like 66% of a portfolio is a pretty critical hit. And then if they sold off and they just said, I'm getting out, they would have missed this huge opportunity. So, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Like, we can't for sure tell, but if this is around the corner, if this is what's going to happen the next month or two, and you sell out now, you'll never know. You'll be regretting your trade for quite a long time if this is what's going to happen. So if you are in a deficit, which I'm sure most of you guys are, just hold on. There's really nothing to lose. You shouldn't have put in money that you weren't comfortable with losing. You had to just consider it a loss as soon as you put that money in, and then if it made you money, good for you. If you lost, then oh well, it didn't really affect you that much. So that's basically my advice on Litecoin. I do think we're going to hit a bottom of 55 and hopefully bounce up off of that, and hopefully go up to the $100 level that I keep referencing. But we're going to have to find out, guys. I know it's tough. We have to sit through this, and I think it will pay off in the end. So otherwise, let's check out Ethereum, the last coin, which is taking another crucial hit. Pretty big in my opinion. You can see where it was bouncing off this black line right here. Don't even know I have that on, but I'm going to delete that. Falling down once again. Daily, it is oversold. So all these coins are oversold, which means we do need a pullback at some point or another. Falling to another level of support. You can see right here where the top is of this triangle, of this reversal right here. That is currently where support is, or there is some support there. So you can see that's why we fell to this level right here. But again, the market is just taking a hit. As much as I want to show you guys TA, I can show you guys bottom levels, but there's a good chance we're going to continue to go down in the short term, in the next week or two. But I do think we are going to find the bottom. There isn't much lower we can go, and then once we find that exhaustion point, I do think we're going to recover quite nicely. So that's pretty much my advice on those top 3 blue chips. Lastly, let's look at Monero, a coin that I think is undervalued, and not many people know about this coin for whatever reason, and I've heard a lot of good news about it. But otherwise, let's just draw in some support levels and then some trend lines. Clearly, one being the bottom right here. We have some at the top, which don't really matter at the current moment, but just to show you guys where I like to draw lines, these are where they are. You know, what I look for right here is another one. So you can see I pretty much just drew in majority of the support and resistance lines right here. And the next thing I'm going to do is draw a trend line, or a few trend lines. You can see the first one being right here, which is interesting too, because you can see on a downtrend, we broke bullish from it. We broke up, clearly facing resistance at the top here, also facing resistance from that high-low middle moving average, and then we fell lower. There is another resistance line forming. It's not 100% accurate, but this could be a potential second downtrend that we could break bullish from. I think we're going to consolidate slightly, retest this line. We could fall lower or we could break up. We're just going to have to see when the price gets a little bit closer. But I do want to draw a last support for Monero right at the bottom here. So lastly, did not mean to do that. Right here, switch over to the horizontal line, put it right here. Lastly, if we do break bearish from this downtrend, I'm honestly anticipating a move back down to this level right here, and I think that'll be the lowest it will fall, and then I think it's only upwards from there. You know, if we experience an 8-month bull run after a 7-month bear or an 8-month bearish market, you know, it would shake a lot of heads. You know, a lot of the media would get back into it, a lot of FOMO investors would get back into it. A lot of just retail investors would get back into it, like people like you and I really think it would influence the market. And when we do take off, it's going to be very, very, very high. So you don't want to miss out on it. But otherwise, if you like the content and you like the channel, make sure to leave a giant thumbs up, subscribe, giveaway at 5K, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.